In the late 1960s, a shadow fell over Northern California. It was a time of vibrant change, but beneath the surface, a chilling mystery was about to unfold. On dark, winding roads and in quiet lovers' lanes, a phantom began his reign of terror, a specter who would call himself the Zodiac. The first confirmed attacks were brutal and seemingly random. On December 20th, 1968, near Lake Herman Road, a young couple was ambushed in their parked car. Just a few months later, another couple was targeted in a similar fashion at Blue Rock Springs Park. This time, the killer didn't just vanish into the night. He called the police, calmly reporting the crime and claiming responsibility for both. It was the first time the world would hear the voice that would haunt the investigation for decades. But the Zodiac's terror wasn't limited to violence. He craved attention, a public stage for his twisted games. On August 1st, 1969, 3 newspapers received nearly identical letters. In them, the writer took credit for the attacks and included a bizarre 408-symbol cryptic. He threatened that if the papers didn't publish his cipher on their front page, he would go on a killing rampage. His message was clear. This was a performance, and the entire Bay Area was his audience. The letter sent a shockwave through the press. Newsrooms buzzed with a mix of fear and macabre excitement. Editors and journalists scrambled to understand the threat. They published the cipher, and soon, headlines screamed with the killer's self-appointed name. The Zodiac. He had successfully manipulated the media, turning his crimes into a public spectacle. The game had begun, and the rules were his alone to make. For law enforcement, it was a nightmare. The Zodiac's taunts were a direct challenge to their authority. Investigation rooms became a complex web of maps, photos, and timeline. Red strings connected disparate clues, a desperate attempt to find a pattern in the chaos. Detectives from multiple jurisdictions were forced to collaborate, poring over every piece of evidence, every witness statement, chasing a ghost who always seemed to be one step ahead. The killer's letters were both a curse and a clue, filled with details only the perpetrator could know, yet offering no easy answers. Then came the attack at Lake Breeze. On a bright September afternoon, a young couple picnicking by the shore was approached by a man wearing a strange, executioner-style hood. In a terrifyingly calm and methodical manner, he bound them before attacking them. He then walked over to their car and drew his cross-circle symbol on the door, dating his crimes. The sheer audacity and theatricality of the act elevated the Zodiac from a mere killer to a bogeyman, a figure of pure, calculating menace. Just 2 weeks later, the Zodiac brought his terror to the heart of San Francisco. A cab driver named Paul Stein picked up a passenger, who directed him to the corner of Washington and Cherry Streets. There, the passenger shot him, tore a piece from his bloody shirt, and calmly walked away into the night. When police arrived, the scene was one of grim, urban horror. The Zodiac had proven he could strike anywhere, anytime. He later mailed a piece of the driver's shirt to a newspaper, a gruesome trophy to prove his claim. As the investigation intensified, a handful of names rose to the surface as potential suspects. Arthur Lee Allen, a former schoolteacher with a troubled past, became the primary focus for many years. His physical description matched some eyewitness accounts, and circumstantial evidence seemed to point in his direction. Yet, despite multiple searches and intense scrutiny, nothing definitive ever linked him to the crimes. Other names like Rick Marshall and Lawrence Kane also emerged, each with their own set of compelling but ultimately inconclusive connections. The Zodiac remained a faceless enigma, a collection of theories and dead ends. The killer continued to communicate, not just through letters, but through chilling phone calls. He famously called into a live television talk show, his voice disguised, taunting the host and the police. "This is the Zodiac speaking," he'd begin, his words sending a shiver through anyone who listened. These calls amplified his terrifying omnipresence, making it feel as if he were everywhere at once, watching, waiting, and enjoying the fear he created. With each new letter came a new cipher. The world's best cryptologists, both amateur and professional, threw themselves at the codes. The first cipher was cracked within a week by a schoolteacher and his wife, revealing a rambling, misspelled message that mocked the police. But the others, like the infamous 340-character cipher, remained unsolved for decades. It wasn't until 2020 that a team of private citizens finally broke it, revealing yet another boastful and defiant message. The codes were a perfect reflection of the killer himself. Complex, intelligent, and designed to infuriate. The Zodiac's hunting grounds, Vallejo, Napa, San Francisco, became landscapes of dread. Foggy nights and deserted streets held a new kind of menace. Every flickering streetlight, every passing car, could be a source of fear. The killer had embedded himself into the very atmosphere of Northern California. A ghost story come to life. He was more than a man. He was a symbol of the darkness that lurks just beyond the light. Decades have passed. The original detectives have long since retired or passed away. New generations of investigators have taken up the case, armed with modern technology like DNA analysis. They have re-examined letters, envelopes, and stamps, hoping for a breakthrough. Yet, the samples have been too degraded, too contaminated, or simply insufficient. The science that has solved so many other cold cases has, so far, failed to unmask the Zodiac. The case remains open. The Zodiac was never caught, never identified. His letters stopped, but the mystery only grew. Was he one of the known suspects, or someone who was never on the radar at all? Did he die, get incarcerated for other crimes, or simply stop, satisfied with the terror he had created? The questions linger, fueling countless books, documentaries, and online forums. The Zodiac Killer crafted the ultimate unsolved crime, a chilling legacy that ensures his name and his mystery will likely never fade away. You've been watching Night Evidence. Until the next mystery, stay curious, stay vigilant.